Hey guys, so I'm doing a full July garden tour. We're almost at the end of July and things are really picking up. We've been gone though the last 11 days. We got home late last night. We've been on vacation. And so maintenance wise, we're kind of a little behind, but I'm going to show you everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But it's so fun when you come home from 11 days to see how much the garden has grown, because it's grown a lot. So you can see it's filled in quite a bit. I have a few pest issues. Have to figure out what they are and then take care of them. But we'll start up here in the top bed. Actually, let's start at the very top. So my fig tree right here, one of the fig trees that I have, it's getting taller and we've got a few little baby figs on it. But over here in this bed, the apples are really starting to take off branching wise. Now this one already produced apples this year. It's an early one. It is called Anna. It's a low chill variety. We have to have low chill here because we don't get a lot of chill hours. But we are espaliering it against this wall. Same with the fig. We're espaliering that. And this apple here, which is a Fuji. We've got a few little apples on it. It's a late variety, but this is its first year, so I really wasn't expecting too much from it. But this fig, these geraniums, if you watch our Next Level Homestead channel, you know we put all these in just as little cuttings this spring, and they've taken over. In fact, I'm going to have to remove them because they're just too big. You know, the first rung of the espalier is down here at this level, and these are already starting to cover it up. So I'm going to move those. But this fig espalier, it's not even espalier right now. It's just kind of here, big, large, and in charge. It needs to be trained in. I'm going to have to put some more wires across higher. The idea is to just get this to fill in this space. And for those of you who weren't following me at my last house, and you're wondering, you know, are these roots going to affect the foundation of the house? The roots only grow as far as as big as the size of the tree needs them to grow. So trained in such a small area and just one plane, the roots don't need to grow that big. So for me, I'm not worried about that. You can put root guards down on the house side if you want to do that, but in my experience, it's not needed. So the fig that I showed you over there, that is a strawberry jam fig. This one is a brown or black mission fig, which I've gotten fruit off of that one. I have not gotten fruit off of this one yet. I don't see any fruit yet, so I'll keep you updated on that. So here in the tomato bed, this is our Tomato Challenge 2024 tomato plant. Now, this to me looks like it's already starting to turn color. It's not quite as light green as it used to be. So if that's the case, this is not going to be a winner. But I do have a mix of Amish paste tomatoes in here with Kellogg's Breakfast. This is the Kellogg's Breakfast. And we've got a lot of fruit down below. But it's been in the 90s in the last week and a half to 2 weeks. And so the flowers on the tomatoes are falling off. That's just what they do. Before we left, I cut these way back, these basil, because they were getting ready to go to flower. And so I just took them and I just twisted the whole tops off of them. And it worked, because now they're just starting to put out again. They did not bloom while we were gone. You know, if a basil blooms, the leaves start to get bitter. So you don't want to let them bloom until you're done with them, really. Got some more cucumbers coming in here. This is the tomato that we overwintered. So it's got some fruit down low. It's got quite a bit of fruit in there, actually. Let's see down here. I'm going to have to start protecting those from the squirrels because they're going to be all over them if I don't. So I know a lot of you have squirrel issues, rat issues. We don't have rat issues here, but I had them at my last house. If you take some tulle or some, I forget the fabric, but it's little bags like you would give favors in a wedding. They're drawstring bags. And you can just put the tomatoes in those bags, pull the drawstring, or just wrap some tulle around them. Tulle like they have under wedding dresses, or they make tutus out of them. Relatively inexpensive, but squirrels I don't know about rats. It did keep the rats off when I did it, but squirrels don't like the way it feels on their little claws. And so I didn't lose any tomatoes last year doing that method. Okay, down here on the next level, we've got 2 raised beds. I've got the Beauregard, you know, the normal sweet potato in that bed. And I just planted these. These are purple Japanese purple sweet potatoes. I just planted them before we left. They were all about this size here. And so in 11 days, that's what they've done. And these, of course, just take over. We do have some things being eaten on here. I have seen a ton of little tiny green grasshopper babies. And I think that's what's eating these cucumber leaves. Some of these leaves look really great, but some of them don't. All right, so next to the sweet potatoes, we've got our pepper bed. Lots of bell peppers. We have an issue here that I've never dealt with in my life, and that is bindweed. It's all over, and I've been on top of it. I first saw it, the first year we had these beds, so 2 years ago, and I've been pulling it out religiously so it doesn't take over. But we've been gone for 11 days, and it has really reared its ugly head. You see, it just wraps itself around all these plants. Now, before we left, I put this shade cloth here to shade the peppers from the afternoon sun because it's really strong here, and it's working. I'm not seeing any sign of sun scald. I'll get out here tomorrow and take care of the rest of this bindweed. It's so bad. Now, if you guys have been with me for, 5 years, it's asking a lot, but I know some of you have been. You know that I have tried over and over again to be successful with the habanada. I love the taste of habanero peppers. I don't like the heat. I'm not a hot pepper guy. And so when I found the habanada, I thought that's the perfect thing. Well, I grew it for 3 or 4 years, and I never got one. The plant just didn't work for me. The last spring that we were at our last house, I tried it again. And when we left, it had baby peppers on it, and I didn't get to taste them, didn't get to take it with me, left it there. So hopefully the new owners of that house got to taste it. Tried it again the first year here, didn't work. Second year didn't work. This year, look at this. This is my habanada. Now, there's no baby peppers on there yet that I can see, but I've never had, other than that one time at our last house, I've never had a plant get this big. So, and we've got some blooms. So fingers crossed, this year I will do a video on tasting that habanada for the first time. We've got some shishito peppers in here. I've got some jalapenos. And this one, which I just love just for the look of the plant. I'll show you the pepper. Pepper looks like this. Medium hot. It's called Jigsaw, but I'm growing it mainly for the bicolor leaves, the variegated leaves, and these purple flowers, and the purple peppers. I don't know that I'll enjoy eating them, but I will enjoy looking at them. And then I have some companion plants in this bed. I've got some alyssum, I've got some thyme, I've got some Thai basil, which smells so good. I do let this go to flower. I don't really use Thai basil that much in cooking. And it doesn't seem to go as bitter as, the regular Italian basil, but the bees absolutely love it. I've got some yarrow in here. I've got a thistle weed. Now, I did a video where I went through all these beds and talked about the companion planting that I did. In fact, I did write the book on companion planting. And so I'll leave a link to the book, and I'll leave a link to that video down below so you know kind of what to put with your plants to just get them along better, less pests, less disease, just more production. My squash bed, we do have some mildew issues, so I'll need to get on top of that. I do have a video, I'll link that down below as well, on mildew. But that just happens. Squash is notorious for getting mildew like that. But it's okay. It's easy to take care of. And if you get it, even now is not too late. So if you just kind of head it off, you can get rid of it, and the rest of the season will be fine. I did not have anybody here harvesting for me, so I have got some massive squash that is pretty inedible at this point. But you know who will love it? Daisy, our cow, the chickens, but I think Ollie and Otis, our sheep, will as well. I'll take you over and we'll feed them those in just a minute. I planted some okra seeds before we left. It's coming up now. Our strawberry and asparagus bed is just kind of doing its thing. The strawberries are going out of, look, there's a grasshopper right there. The strawberries are slowing down on their fruit production. They are now starting to put out runners, which I will leave for new plants next year. As far as the asparagus is concerned, we have 3 beds. We have this one, and one down on the bottom terrace. And the thing with asparagus at this time of year, you just let it grow, let it develop all of these fronds, and then depending on where you live, when winter comes, ours takes about till December, sometimes even January to die back, but it'll all look like this. At that point, you can just cut them off at the ground, mulch them through the winter, and then they'll start to put new sprouts up in spring, which you can harvest. And there's some sprouts right here, but these already feel kind of woody, so we're just going to wait till next spring to do any more harvesting. Look at the bindweed in this path. It's all blooming. I got to get out here and take care of this because you don't want it to set seed. That would absolutely be horrendous. I'll take care of that tomorrow. All right, these bell peppers are doing pretty good. You know what? I did not put shade on these because I thought this would be enough, but I am seeing some sun scald here. So I got to put that on the list tomorrow as well to get some shade over this bed. Look at all these. Look at all these peppers. Oh, wow. Okay. And see, these are being shaded by the plant itself. And here's what is this 2 plants? No, this is 1. Yeah, this is 2 plants. So see, when you plant peppers close together, and I just did a pepper video last weekend, one of the things I said was if you plant peppers close together, they help each other out in many ways. And one way is by shading each other so that the fruit on their neighbor is shaded by the plant next to it. Next to the pepper bed, we have our corn. Now this was just, I mean, these were barely taller than like maybe 2 inches. It looked just like little grass seedlings coming up when we left. So in 11 days, it's practically knee high. And here, knee high by the end of July is just fine. Got a couple of eggplants here. These are Japanese eggplants. There's a fruit right there. There we go. Got a couple of leftover cabbages here. They were kind of late from the winter, but you know what? They're actually ready to pick. They're nice and firm. Down here on the bottom terrace, we've got some more squash. A little mildew happening, not as much as above. And then we've got 2 beds of potatoes that are ready to harvest. All right, let's head over to the cottage garden now. Now, before we left, well, on the Next Level Homestead channel, I told you the cottage garden was already kind of overwhelming its borders and growing crazy, and I needed to get in there and cut it all back. Well, I didn't get around to that before we left, so it is out of control. I mean, look at all these echinaceas. Would be absolutely beautiful if I had cut them back at the right time and then maybe added some stakes. But look at how many there are. Tons. The roses need to be deadheaded. The lamb's ears need to be deadheaded. The dahlias need to be deadheaded. And see, so like here's some Nepeta. This would have really benefited if I had just cut it off about 6 inches from the ground. Before we left, it would be putting out a new whole bushy plant by now. But it's not too late. My favorite thing going on in the cottage garden right now are my espaliered apples that I put on my little homemade fence here. Take a look at this. So we've got Gordon, just espaliered them on the fence here, 2 rungs all the way around. Now a lot of this growth is going to have to be cut off. If you keep it cut at finger length, so cut them off, you know, as long as your finger, they'll make fruiting spurs on each one of those that you cut. So I do need to get in here and clean all this up. This cherry tree has done so well. It's really developing a nice shape. Once I get in here this fall, winter, and prune it, I think it'll do really well this coming year. Same with both of these pear trees. These have doubled in height just this season. And this is the one over here that has the one pear on it. Hopefully I'll get to eat this year. Right there. These are also low chill pears and cherries. We've got mini royal and crimson royal cherries. However, I'll show you the one of them. I'm gonna have to replace it. It's not doing well. It hasn't done well since I planted it. And then we've got fan still pear and Florida Prince, I believe. I cut back the hydrangeas before we left, so they're all putting out nice new growth. And it looks like somebody's birthday balloon ended up in my garden. Here's this cherry tree I was talking about. So pretty much from the beginning, it started getting these like hardened, sappy scabs on it. We'll feed these guys in a minute. And then just about a month or two ago, the leaves just started to look not healthy at all. They're falling on the grass. Speaking of grass, the lawn, there's no more lines where the sod lines. Okay, let me go get those squash and we'll feed them to the sheep and the cow. While we're on our way over there, just want to show you the green stalk. Everyone always asks about the green stalk and I forget to show it, but the strawberries did great this year. We got a lot of strawberries off of it. We're ending the fruiting period, like I said before, and moving into the runner time where we let these runners grow and then we can root them. I have a video on that. I'll link it down below as well. All right, let's go. Oh, if you watch my Next Level Homestead channel, before we left, I put drip in here and planted a few things, and it has grown. They've grown so much just while we've been gone. I mean, there's a lot left to put in here, but, you know, still. I know. All right, well, they'll enjoy that. That was my quick little tour. Got a lot of work to do. Anytime you're gone, you come home to a lot of work. So that's my tomorrow job. See you next time.